Today I'm going to talk to you about all the reasons I think I was wrong about this, the Amazon Echo Flex. Welcome back to another episode of STU'S Reviews. So a few months ago I released a review on the Echo Flex, and let's just say that I was rather unkind about it. For me, this is just a very, very strange product, and I don't get it. The Echo Flex has interestingly turned out to be an extremely polarising product from Amazon. There are some of you out there that absolutely love the product, and then there are those that don't like the product, and then there are those somewhere in between. Before you click that link and buy 8 of these, it still might not be the product for you, so we're going to discuss that today. But if you haven't seen my original review of the Echo Flex, I'd advise you go and check it out, because that'll give you an idea on some of the features that I might not be looking at today, because today I primarily want to focus on why I've changed my mind. Now, all of this and this kind of revision of my review was prompted by a video from Paul of HIBBERT Home Tech. It was a cold January evening, the fire was roaring, and I was sat there watching Paul's review on the Echo Flex. I was content in my own review and opinion of this product until Paul said this.
This is the best thing Amazon have done in absolutely ages.
Could I have been wrong? What did he mean it was amazing? It was awful though, wasn't it? Could I really have got it so wrong? Which brings me back with you now, and after having a good long think about it, I think that Paul may be right. Certainly in some areas anyway. First of all, Paul made a very, very good point about the fact the Echo Flex doesn't have any dirty, grimy spots. Now, I mean this, if we look at something like this, which is the Dot, this has a cloth exterior which can get dirty and grimy and harbour things like dust and pasta sauce. This is a wipe down scenario, so if something does get on it, you wipe it down and it's good to go. So that is one massive bonus of something like this over this in the kitchen especially, and other places that might get a bit dirty. And that was actually something that I missed completely in my initial review. I guess I didn't take into account that actually, because it doesn't have any cloth exterior, this is actually a little bit cleaner. And let's face it, if it does get grimy or does get dirty beyond repair, then it's only 25 quid to replace. And actually, that's not a massive amount of money. Yes, it is some money, but when you're comparing that to something like a Dot, which is 35, 40 pounds, is not such a bad idea. Another point Paul made was the speaker. Now, the speaker itself got terrible marks from me. Oh my embarrassment. That is awful. But as I said in my review, I didn't think that that's supposed to be the function of it, because it's got the smallest speaker of any Amazon Echo device. It's got 0.6 inches versus this, which is a 1 inch, I think, in the Dot. But Paul did point out that this is very, very treble oriented, which means that it does cut through a lot of low ambient noise so that you can actually hear the voice assistant responding. And that was something I'd not considered either. It is the most diabolical speaker in the world, but actually, interestingly, since I did my review, Amazon now have it on their website that is not optimised for music. This wasn't on the website when I did my original review. It would, in theory, be good in places like workshops or bathrooms or even kitchens, that kind of place. Although there is a massive consideration that you need to make, obviously, and that is the fact that this is not waterproof. And even if it was, you still couldn't have it in the UK in a bathroom, because we're not allowed to have 3-pin plugs in bathrooms. Actually, that's a lie. You are allowed as long as it's 3 meters away from the nearest shower or bath. But let's face it, that probably cuts most people out in the UK, because 3 meters is actually a rather large distance, especially for a bathroom in the UK. The only exception to this is shaver plugs. Now, shaver plugs can be within a safe distance to the shower or bath. There isn't actually a specified distance. What Amazon could have done is made one of these with a shaver plug attachment. That way you could use it in the bathroom. So I would love to see them bring out something like this that is more water resistant, or certainly humidity resistant, and can be plugged into a shaver plug. They've missed a trick there in my eyes, because that would be perfect for the bathroom, and actually none of the devices at the moment are really that suitable for the bathroom because none of them are waterproof. So there's your idea, Amazon, for your first waterproof product. Paul also mentioned the additions on the bottom. Now this is something that I covered as well, because there are two additions that go into the USB port on the bottom by another company called Third Reality, and that's a motion sensor and a light. Now I kind of just breezed over those and said that those were available, but there was something that I didn't actually think about in my initial review, and that is the motion sensor can trigger routines. Now I use IKEA Tradfree as my smart lighting, and they do a motion sensor as well, but that can only control light. The difference being is that, let's say you plug the motion sensor in this, and you have it in the hall. If you walk past it, it could do things like turn the kettle on, turn the radio on, read you the news, turn the lights on, and you can set this to work in between certain hours as well. So let's say you just wanted that routine to happen once in the morning. All you do is you set it between sort of 7 and 7:30 for that to work. So overall, actually, those little additions are fantastic, and actually it means you can do a lot more with this than something like this, because this doesn't have any additional items that you can plug into it to sort of enact routines. So actually, I think I breezed over those additions far too quickly in my last review, and those additions are quite cheap as well. They're 15 quid. So if you add a motion sensor to it, you can do a hell of a lot with it. Now, the last big error in my previous review was the fact I forgot, and I have no idea how I managed to do it, but I'd obviously forgotten because it was in the bottom of a drawer somewhere, was this exists. Now, if those of you out there are wondering what the hell this is the Echo input, which is basically the kind of precursor to this. And that's because this is simply just something you plug into the wall, connect to your speaker via 3.5mm or Bluetooth, and it creates that into a smart speaker. But this has no speaker of its own, and it's gangly. It's got loads of cables coming off it. If you want to plug it into a speaker, there's more cables coming off that. It's just a bit of an awkward product, especially now when I'm comparing it to this. So had I actually remembered this existed, I might have been a little bit more favourable towards this. So I am very, very, very sorry that I completely forgot the Echo input. But in my eyes, this is a far better solution than this, especially if all you want is to control another set of speakers with it. So that summarises some of the points Paul made that I missed completely in my original review, and these points have led me to kind of change my outlook on the Echo Flex. So here are my final updated thoughts on this device. I nearly never come back and revise a review that I've made, but I think in this particular instance I needed to come back to tell you I was very wrong about this device. Okay, I'd still rather stick hot pins in my ears than listen to anything coming from this speaker. Nothing's changed there. But that initial impression from the sound horrified me so much, I pretty much ignored the outstanding positives and benefits of this device. It doesn't matter where you put it. In the kitchen being splattered by the pasta sauce bubbling from your pans, or in a workshop surrounded by oil and wood shavings, in a loft with the spiders, or even down on the floor where the dogs roam. This thing can probably take the beating and neglect. Very much like people, the Echo Flex has flaws. But if you simply get to know it, you'll see the good shining through. So let's not give it all the hate that it seems to be getting. It's absolutely a niche product, so it isn't for everyone. But this thing is actually a really solid little device when it's used for what it's supposed to be used for, to fill the gaps in your smart home system that couldn't be filled by anything other than the Echo Flex. So I hope you enjoyed today's little bit of a different episode than what I'd normally make, and I hope I've managed to kind of help you see why the Echo Flex potentially shouldn't get all the hate it got, especially at release and especially from me, because it's actually a fantastic little device. So I'm sorry. If you want to find out more about why this is actually a very good product, I would implore you to go and check Paul's review out. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below, but it's an awesome channel, so please go and check him out after you've hit that subscribe and that notification bell. And before I go, I just want to say a massive thanks to all my current patrons. You guys are incredible, and I couldn't do it without you. But other than that, I'll see you back for another episode of STU'S Reviews soon.